What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, I wanted to discuss the upcoming release character that we have coming out in about a week from now, guys, and also the upcoming LR that we know could be coming to Grand Cross in the next week as well. I wanted to discuss this in today's video, guys. We have the kind of leaks here in terms of like news, and so let's kind of discuss it here. Again, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Guys, we're grinding to that 49k, and we're only about 100 subs away, so I would definitely, you know, appreciate if you guys were, you know, able to push me up there, especially with the beginning of the new year, guys. You know, new year, and your boy is grinding. So all right, guys, let's hop in and let's talk about it. So Lance right here is posting in his Discord, and he says the next LR will release together with a New Year's Sariel Part 2 or a week after. Now, the reason why this actually has some validity here is because if we actually go to the 7k Dreamer Plays you know, Grand Cross sheet right here, yeah, I know this is a, you know, flashbang right here, guys. But right here, as you guys can see, January 9th, 2025, which is next week. Obviously, you know, today's the 2nd. We have no new heroes or banners because it's a dead week. Next week is actually going to be Sariel, Solar Seed, Pickup Draw Limited, and then also right here they say a new LR. So that's going to be something that is going to be pretty insane to kind of think about. So we know that Melly Ellie is able to be run alongside a Goddess team as well. And right now, I think the Demon team and 7 Ellie Sins variant, I feel like are a little bit stronger right now than the Goddess. So them getting any type of buff right there for the Goddess team could be really good. So let's actually talk about Solar Seed here, and we'll talk about what I think he can actually do. So we actually have a Sariel of this variant in the game already. And so we would just get another variant of this character, and yeah, I think it could be a pretty strong upgrade for the Goddess team. So let's just kind of go over the kit here of the one we have in the game already, guys, and I'll kind of discuss what I think the new one could do that could maybe, you know, kind of buff the Goddess team and actually be a, you know, really strong character for them. So starting off with the Holy Relic, because this is the one that's going to stay even with the other one as well, right? When an enemy uses a skill on the hero, grants an effect that increases attack by 20% for one turn when inflicting damage to an enemy using skills or counters, and recovers HP by 15% of damage though. So right there it says skills or counters, meaning that, you know, this upcoming Sariel could actually have a counter skill. You know, the one we have in the game does have a counter skill, but it's not really a very strong one because it's just based off the raw attack. You know, it doesn't like convert the damage that you take, you know, to the enemy pretty much. It's not like, you know, Chandler's counter or anything like that. This is just a raw attack percent counter, which I don't really think is too good, especially on Sariel, where he just doesn't really want to be running an attack anyway, like on an attack set. So you're not really going to be able to take advantage of that counter too much. And so I think if we do get a new Sariel for the Goddess team, I would definitely want it to be a taunt skill. And then if they're going to make it a counter just to kind of work with the Holy Relic here, I would actually like them to do a kind of Chandler-esque counter. So I'll show you guys here if we go to the blue Chandler. Because I think he has like one of the best counter skills in the entire game, just because of the way it works, where, you know, it does 200% of attack on the thing, but increases damage dealt of the damage taken by 50%. So if you take like your whole health bar but you live, you're gonna counter with 200% of attack, and you're gonna increase the damage dealt by 50% of the amount of damage you took. And I think this does, yeah, this does scale as well on the higher ranks of the skills. So this full counter right here, I think would be a lot stronger than the one that Sariel has already in the game. So that could be a really nice addition for the Goddess team. It would allow them to have a really strong taunt, and yeah, you could draw damage away from your Melly Ellie, so that the turn 2 you could just do like some crazy damage. So I think that is honestly a really viable you know, option right there for what the Sariel could do. And then yeah, I mean, the Grace is going to be the same if I'm not mistaken, guys, because I think they if it's the same variant of the character, I think they share the same Grace. I'm honestly not, I'll have to like look at for the 4 Archangels again, just to kind of look at them again. Let's see, do any of them, yeah, so these ones share the same. Yeah, I was gonna say Green Ludo shares the same as the blue one. So yeah, we would actually share the same grace with this new Sariel. So maybe they have him be kind of like a Festival Zeldris in the way his passive works, where for every like debuff on the enemy, you're gonna gain basic stats for your team, because they have a you know, for the grace here for Sariel, it's gonna decrease all enemies critical chance by 3% and critical damage by 8% for 2 turns whenever the hero uses a skill, right? So it's whenever Sariel's able to use the skill, you're gonna get the debuffs on the enemy. And that could actually be a really nice synergy alongside Melieli and, you know, like Mayel. And you could have a kind of a setup where Sariel is going to be able to increase your basic stats for every, you know, maybe debuff on the enemy. And it could be like a team-wide passive buff. Whereas, you know, if we're running a character like Margaret, I feel like Margaret with her build-up is really based on her just kind of using buff skills. Where if we have Sariel to be able to do the debuffs with his counters, which he is able to do on his counter as well, when you do counter with the green one, you actually do still apply his command or his grace, right? So you're able to get that off. I think that could be some crazy synergy right there. And they could do something as well, kind of like Balder's passive, where, you know, in the game, Balder, he pretty much builds up stats as he's countering, right? Like, that's something that's super nice about Balder. Yeah, so it's gonna be, where is it? So if the hero is assuming a stance, applicable allies defense related stats increased by 30. And then, where is it right here? Oh yeah, increases applicable allies by 5% for each time the hero inflicts damage on an enemy. So that could be a really nice, you know, kind of way to allow Sariel to be able to build up basic stats without having to waste turns using, you know, like buff skills like the blue Ludo does, blue Margaret, right? I think that would be a really good way to go about it. So yeah, guys, I think pretty much anything along those lines of being able to buff Goddess team off the rip where they don't have to do really any build up unless it's through like a counter, I think could be really good, right? So that's what I would want from this Sariel. We'll see what it is going to be next week. And yeah, I'm curious to see, you know, that's going to be the part 2 of the New Year's celebration. And I do think that the character will most likely be very strong. Well, hopefully starting off with 2025, we got some banger releases, man. Now, the next thing that we actually do have to mention as well is we are also going to be getting a new LR, right? They do mention right here new LR, and it also does make sense in game because we always get a brand new LR once the Labyrinth actually leaves in Grand Cross. So it's going to leave on the 8th going into the 9th, which makes a lot of sense that we would get a brand new LR going into the next season of Heroes Arena. So with that being said, guys, what LR could we kind of expect on Grand Cross right now in terms of what kind of teams need buffs? Would they do something that ties in with the Sariel that's releasing, or would they do, you know, just kind of a random character? Now, I think if they want to pick one character here, guys, they go with Tristan. I think this is a really good character pick here for an LR, and the reason why I say this is because Melieli just released and benefits from both parts of this passive, right? The attack related stats for demon allies and then goddess allies defense related stats. Melieli is able to benefit from both of these parts of the passive, and it's a backline support as well, meaning Tristan can be in the back. And then if this works alongside with the, you know, the new Sariel, and, you know, you have Mayel as well, that's going to be a really strong goddess team. And they could give him a Holy Relic as well. Obviously, they'd LR him and then give him a Holy Relic. Unless they do the LR Gallant thing and shaft him. You know, that's a possibility. But I would think if they give him a Holy Relic, that could be a really cool way to, you know, finally make Tristan a Demon and Goddess. They could just say that, you know, his races are now Demon and Goddess instead of just being unknown, right? Because I think they, yeah, so right now his race is unknown, unfortunately. Even though he is Melly and Liz's child, right? You would think they'd be, you know, Demon and Goddess. So, you know, they could definitely incorporate that in the Holy Relic. And then they could also say the fact that, you know, maybe they give extra stats. You know, maybe they give, I don't know, like, I don't know what they would kind of go with the Holy Relic, because they already have damage for demons and then defense related for goddess. Maybe they do another kind of gimmick, kind of the way Melieli does, where in their passive they, you know, do certain things for on a specific team. So maybe if you're on a full demon team, right? Let's go to Melieli real quick. If you're on a full demon team, you get a certain buff, like just like with Melieli, where you get Sword of Darkness, right? And then with a, you know, full goddess team, you would get Shield of Light, something similar to that. And then they could kind of, you know, do something very similar actually with the actual passive of the effect. So yeah, I mean, healing team is going to be very strong. Maybe they have like, you know, buff strip or cancel stance on skills, maybe something crazy like that, you know, giving just cancel stance on attack skills, like non-debuff attack skills. I think that could be really cool. Or, you know, having initial attack, like that new feature of initial attack that Melieli has as well, could be very, very cool. So things like that, guys, I think could be really good for the goddess team and even the demon team too, if they want to have Tristan be a buffer for that. And I think that could be a really, you know, honestly, something to definitely expect, guys. I think Tristan actually could be, you know, one of those characters that could actually get LR. So that's my like main idea right now in terms of who I think could get LR. But yeah, I mean, they do have a bunch of other options too, guys. Since they're doing Sariel, they could maybe do Red Tarmiel, you know. Red Tarmiel would be an insane LR, actually, because he would get a ton of extra stats. And if they want to still relegate him to a link, they could do that. But with an LR, they can make him more of a on-fielder if they really want to do that, right? That could be something that's pretty crazy. And then maybe Sariel is actually a backline support character and not necessarily a frontline. You know, maybe that's what they're kind of going for. So yeah, I mean, just kind of some ideas here, guys, in terms of what they could do. But I think I will probably lock in the fact that they do a Tristan LR, and then they have the Sariel releasing next week as well. I think that could actually tie, you know, really well together. And this would be a great buff for the Goddess team variant of Melieli, because I feel like right now that's the main team I feel like is kind of struggling right now of the three that you can run for Melieli. And so I do think that you know, Sariel could be a huge buff, and then also if they do like a LR Tristan, could be very cool as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the leak right there, guys. We are going to be getting Sariel next week alongside a brand new LR. We just do not know the LR yet. Once we do get the information, I'll let you guys know. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.